Hello everyone, Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel VPK Nutrition, Mind Body Healing with Pushpa. Today is part 2 of our series on constipation, and I'm going to be talking about some dietary suggestions that will help you get rid of the root of constipation and also to help you eliminate your waste products more regularly. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Again, first of all, I want to thank all my viewers and subscribers who have been watching on a regular basis. If you haven't already done, please do subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, like it, give it a thumbs up, make a comment in there, and then share it with others who you think may be benefited. So this way you will get notification, and I will also be sharing more and more videos that are helpful to you. So let's get started with today's topic. So I'm going to be, first of all, I'm going to talk about diet based on not just modern nutrition, but also more about Ayurvedic approach to constipation. So first of all, in Ayurveda, there are 3 different bioenergies, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. The Vata is the energy of movement or kinetic energy in the body. It's responsible for all of the movements in the body, including the food moving down as well as the elimination of waste products. The Pitta energy is responsible for digestion of food as well as thoughts and metabolism or transformation in the body, so it becomes part of you. Then the Kapha energy is responsible for nourishment and giving you grounding and good health. So according to Ayurveda, constipation is mostly a Vata problem, and it usually takes on the qualities of Vata, which is dry and cold, and this is what leads to the improper functioning of the colon, because colon is considered to be the seat of Vata. So naturally in Ayurveda, they always try to balance things by giving the opposite conditions, whether it is food or lifestyle. So when it comes to food, you will pick foods that are more warming in nature and gives you more moisture, gives you more oil, and also hydration in the body. So let's talk about what are the foods that you should include and what are the foods you should avoid. So let's look at some of the foods and things that we should include in our diet. Number 1, drink enough water, especially warm or hot water, or even drinking some herbal teas like CCFT, coriander, cumin, fennel teas. These things can help with digestion as well as elimination of waste products. So definitely avoid cold beverages or cold drinks. Number 2, we want lubrication in the body. Again, use oils in cooking, especially if you're doing stir fries and things like that. And oils like sesame oil, which is warming in nature, olive oil, and even using ghee in cooking is good. Again, you don't want to have too much ghee, and that's okay. You can always add a teaspoon of ghee with every meal, because that gives you something called butyric acid, which is something that the healthy gut bacteria also make, and that helps with the elimination process. Number 3, eat plenty of fruits. And when you talk about fruits, we're talking about sweet fruits like grapes or even mangoes in season would be helpful, not otherwise. Again, bananas can be constipating if it is not very ripe. So make sure they're quite ripe when you eat them. And also other juicy fruits like berries, peaches, pineapple can be also helpful. Again, pick fruits in season. Now, dry fruits, again, we don't want to eat them as it is because it is drying. So you want to at least soak them before you use them. Apples, again, can be constipating because they are astringent in nature. However, you can remove the skin and put some chaat masala and eat it that way because it helps with digestion. Or you can even add some cinnamon and warm it up a little bit and eat it that way. So number 4, fruit juices. Now, fruit juices, again, like prune juice is very good for constipation. Pineapple juice could be beneficial as well. Again, don't drink very cold liquids. Make them more like a room temperature kind of thing. Number 5, vegetables. Vegetables give you a lot of fiber, and you need fiber to move things along in the bowel. So vegetables like okra is very, very good for constipation, and also other vegetables like green beans and carrots. The sweet vegetables are good for you. Also squashes, any of these things will be good. Again, don't eat raw vegetables, but all of them should be cooked. If you like a little bit of crunch, at least saute them a little bit, introduce some heat in there and add some spices and use them that way. Number 6 would be adding some spices, because sometimes constipation may be related to indigestion as well. So again, using some mild spices like cumin, coriander, fennel, turmeric, little bit of black pepper, those are all good. Again, avoid too spicy foods like cayenne pepper or green chilies, jalapenos, things like that. Those things can actually be very drying and heating for the body. So avoid those. Let's look at what we should be avoiding in our diet, or at least reducing or modifying in order to help our body. Number one, of course, would be fried foods. Fried foods are very drying in nature, and again, it's not good for us as well, so definitely avoid those. Number two, avoid sweets or desserts, which are very have refined starches, because those can be very heavy, full of sugar and fat, and that can constipate you. Number three, meats and eggs are again considered sweet in taste and very heavy to digest, so definitely avoid if you have constipation. Number four, dairy products like yogurt, cheese, and even milk can be heavy and hard to digest, so definitely use less quantity of those kinds of things. However, you can have beaten buttermilk with very little yogurt, lots of water, some spices like cumin and a little bit of asafoetida, hing, a pinch of salt, and also maybe add some ginger. Beat it all up and drink it that way. That actually can be helpful for digestion, for constipation and digestion. Number five, nuts and dry fruits. Now, these are again very drying in nature. So if you are going to eat some of that, make sure you soak them for a little bit and eat it, or add a little bit of spices so it's easier to digest. Again, eat sparingly. Number six, vegetables. Now, vegetables, they do give fiber, but there are some vegetables that can cause a lot of gas, like cauliflower, cabbage, and even broccoli sometimes. So again, listen to your body for that. And then other vegetables like bitter and astringent vegetables can also be drying in nature when eaten in excess, such as bitter gourd, or even plantains, green bananas, and even those banana flowers that they call them, varapu in Tamil. So those things also can be a little bit of drying in nature. So think about that. Again, nightshades usually aggravate vata, like potatoes, tomatoes, eggplant, and also peppers. Now again, this is again something you need to listen to your own body and see if they affect you. Potatoes definitely will increase vata, so definitely eat less of it. Sweet potatoes are a little bit better. However, when it comes to peppers and eggplant, you can cook them with a little bit of spices, the milder spices, but again, eat them sparingly. So keep a record of all of these vegetables and see which things actually help you, which things aggravate vata, and this way you can avoid them according to your body type. Okay, so number seven again is dry beans and lentils. Now these again are very drying in nature and cause a lot of gas for many people. So when we talk about dry beans, we're talking about chickpeas and red kidney beans and black beans. The darker the beans, the harder to digest and harder to assimilate. Again, in the lentils, tur dal, chana dal, urad dal, all of these things can be a little aggravating for vata and increase constipation. Moong dal is pretty easily digestible. So make it like a combination instead of eating too much of those kinds of things. And if you soak it overnight and soak it and then cook it with some bay leaves, add some asafoetida or hing, then that will remove some of the gas as well. Hope you learned a lot about food for constipation in this episode. Just to give you a summary, for the foods to include, make sure they are warm, unctuous, gives you enough hydration in the body. And things to avoid would be foods that are very cold and dry, which aggravate vata even more. Now again, constipation is very important, and especially if you are older, over 50 years old, we are getting into the vata stage of life. Vata constipation can get even more aggravated and become a problem. So even if you had proper bowel movement when you were younger, things start to get a lot drier as you get older. So this is why you need to be more conscious of what you're eating and how it agrees with you. Again, also remember, it not only causes chronic illnesses or plays a role in chronic illnesses, but it also causes a lot of the old age diseases or neurological conditions like dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, etc., and also mental issues like anxiety, depression, and overall making you sluggish and fatigued. So it's very important to deal with this issue when it's still part of your digestive process before it spreads and causes other major complications in your life. So for this week, again, listen to your body, observe your mind, and help yourself. And I'll see you next week with another episode talking about some lifestyle changes for constipation. So have a wonderful week ahead.